Rebecca Roth is part of our Curriculum and Instructional Support Center here at GTC, and she has come to tell us about Blackboard's newest edition, AI Generator for Instructors. So welcome to the webinar with us this afternoon, Rebecca. I'm going to go ahead and stop my sharing so that you can share your screen, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Let me get sharing here. All right. Thank you again for having me and for inviting CISC to participate in this panel, and we're very excited. So Blackboard and Anthology have been working very diligently to make sure that they are on remaining relevant with all of the changes that come along with the AI generator that generator options that we've talked about so far, that we've seen about. And so Blackboard now has a way for instructors, for faculty to use the AI generator to create content for themselves or for these course shells. So what I have here is a bit of a demonstration. I have a sample course that I created solely using the AI generator in Blackboard. I did input the assistance of ChatGPT just to create a little bit of content for this particular sample course because it is not a sample based on my own expertise. So this is an introduction to MRI. So I used those terms to generate content. So please note my disclaimer here of at no point am I saying that the content you see is correct with MRI information, but it's for demonstration purposes only. So the first thing that I did was I started with a clean shell. So like a blank shell, when you go into your Blackboard course and there is nothing there. And I'm going to go ahead and show you, even without a clean shell, what I did first. So the AI generator, you can tell it to build modules for you. And so it will auto-generate modules based on the parameters that you give. So in this case, the only thing with a basic generator, it is only kind of guessing based on the name of my course. So it pulls this information in, or I can give it topics to bring in. So I can say, just focus on magnetic resonance, imaging, and technology. So, and then I can tell it to regenerate, and it will come up with some new modules to propose that I insert those into my course. It's going to take a minute. I will point out that this AI generator, at any point that you use the AI generator in Blackboard, you do have to actively go in and select what you want to include in your course. And when we get farther into the questions and the question prompts that are available, that's something that I really want everyone to realize, that Blackboard is not allowing you to just say, hey, add it all in, without any vetting process by the instructor. So it does have to be vetted by the instructor. At this point, I'm not going to choose to add these two to the course just because I have some content pre-built for you. But before I go, if you have content already built in several of the AI generator areas, you can choose to select content that is already in existence there. So you can choose from there to start bringing in that content. And you can also change your level of complexity and number. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. All right, so discard and close. So for topic 1 here, I have, again, generated content using, again, solely AI generated content. As I said before, I needed something to build from. So I did use ChatGPT to I told it, hey, write 1,000 words on, and develop several modules on an introduction to MRI course. And so this is ChatGPT generated. But the reason I brought this in was, if you have this content that you've added into Blackboard into an Ultra document, which is what I've added here, If you go to the bottom of the screen, you'll notice there is an auto-generate question bank. So by clicking that, I go back into a generator, and this particular generator is going to come up with questions solely based on the content that was in that particular document. So this is really great for creating. You can go as high stakes as a test. You can create a quiz, or even just something as like a knowledge check, where you kind of use this to test the students' knowledge on whether or not they've read that content. Just like in the modules, you can change that complexity level. You can increase the number of questions. Notice nothing changes. I do have to tell it to generate anytime I make that change. I can also say, if it says inspire me, it will generate different types of questions. But if it's a knowledge check, I may only want multiple choice questions. So then I click generate. It does some thinking, and after that, I want to make sure that, again, that I am looking at the questions, and I'm choosing the questions. And also, even if I choose a question, when I go in to add that question and to create that assignment, I have the ability to edit those questions. So if there's just one or two things that are a little bit off because it is AI generated, but I know that I can manipulate that to be an accurate, good question, then I have that ability to do that. And so I've pre-built some of these for you. So let me click out of here. So the types of assignments that are available for us to build with this, we can use a generator to create a discussion board. And this is actually really great because the generator is designed to create open-ended questions that are following the advice of like what we just saw with Michelle and Rachel of creating what Blackboard is referring to as authentic assessment. So prompts that are designed to dissuade a student from using an AI generator to create their answers. So we're almost kind of using it against that. You know, the joke was, I even said at the very beginning was like, well, why don't we ask AI how to prevent AI or AI usage, you know, overusage, I guess you could say. So, and just like before, you can read this, you can choose which topic to use, or you can say, hey, you know what? It really isn't getting it. So this was great to get me brainstorming, but I'm going to go ahead and write my topic myself. That is absolutely fine and encouraged. Here is a test that I created using the question banks that I built with the document that I had. So this can give you an idea. I just did 3 questions. Again, you can create the pools that are in the background and then pull that information into a test that you build. You can create, here's a knowledge check that I mentioned. They also have journal prompts that will auto-generate. So let me show you really quickly. I know we're kind of going off on time. So here's my topic 2 module. So I have the again the essay that I've brought in that I fully admit that I did not write. I can tell it to generate my question bank. But one thing I want to do here is create an assignment. So I just want to show you guys how this works. So the journals and discussions, again, these are the assignments that are the lower stakes. They tend to be lower stakes assignments. And so this is where I would recommend you start playing around with these, just to kind of see how it works, how you like it. Clearly, you're welcome to add in test questions, but I know that we are all kind of nervous around it. And so to get used to it and to kind of see, hey, is it giving me quality content or not? This is a great place to start. So if I create a new discussion in my course, I can go in and say auto-generate the discussion. And this is also great for new instructors who may be coming in from the field and they don't have that long history of educational training. And they're like, I don't really know. I know I've got to create these assignments, but I don't really know how to write them. Like I know what I want them to do, but I don't know how to say it. That's not my strength. So that's really what I'm most excited about with this, is it really helps the instructors who are coming from that side, and it gives them that brainstorming ability. So I'm just going to guess that this is a discussion prompt that I would like. And so I just say add, And then this is the page where I can come in and I can edit that prompt accordingly. You know, I may say, okay, this wording is not correct, so I need to change that wording a little bit. Then I would say save. And just like any other discussion, you can make any changes from there. You can make it graded, not graded, all of that. So another thing that I want to point out that is excellent for especially new instructors, new faculty who are less familiar with writing some of the, the educational prompts, or even, just some of the content generating. So you can use this AI generator, not just to build tests, questions, quizzes, knowledge checks, discussions, journals, modules, the list goes on. You can use it to create a rubric. So when we go into our grade book, and you can create this kind of rubric from the grade book or from one of those, like a very specific item within the course. So you build it the same way, you go into that different ways, but it goes into the same generator. So if I want to make, just a generic rubric, when I go into my overall grade settings and I scroll down, previously we would have seen just create a new rubric, and now I can tell it to generate my rubric. I go in, same steps and processes. I would say, okay, for this particular rubric, again, it's about the introduction to, let's see if I can just do MRI. And I give it that time. And again, for someone who may have never written a rubric in their lives, this is a great starting point. It's a great place to brainstorm, how to organize that rubric, what to break down, what is the difference between, a 75 and a 50, or, needs improvement but is acceptable, different areas. And this can be, you could, just like anything else, you could increase, you can make it very, very big, or you can make it pretty small, whatever it is you would need that you're looking for. I did make it very small because what I wanted to see was if it gave like a succeed, unsucceed. And when I made it very like 2 by 2, I didn't like it. It didn't give me the, what was missing area. So you just kind of have to play to see what you're looking for. Now, this rubric I created from the overall grades area, so I would have to type in my description what I'm looking for this particular rubric. But if I go back to my journal that I've already created, so I'm going back to topic 1 here, I'm going into this MRI journal from module 1. And with this assignment, I can create a rubric specifically about this. So I would say use grading rubric, generate, okay, and then it would generate that rubric accordingly. So sometimes it takes time, and I'm a fast clicker, so sometimes I get ahead of Blackboard. But and again, I can I can change the complexity. I can add columns and rows if I don't like it. I can edit. If I were to click continue, I can go in and I can make changes to this, or I can, I can change my percentages, I can edit any of that. So it's a really great tool in my mind, in my opinion, but keeping in mind a lot of the same things that we've heard today, which are to, be aware that it's not going to create perfect content by any means. But one of the challenges with this tool is that no matter which direction we're going with it, we always feel like we're a few steps behind. At least that's how I feel. And so I like having this tool here to use and to learn and to try to keep up with that. So this is turned on for all faculty in all of your classes. You may have seen it already. You may have played with it already. If you're enjoying it and you're using it, or you hear of a fellow faculty member who is also using it and has anything to say about it, like even if it's, hey, this is not working very well, please let us know. We have a team group that it's a team channel in Microsoft Teams that we've put together. And we just kind of want to use it as a sounding board, just as, you know, like just a focus group of those who are using this. And we would love to get feedback on, you know, on the whole gamut. We do want to hear if it's absolutely a waste of your time. We want to hear if it's helping you tremendously. We want to hear if it's, hey, it's good to use, but, you know, I don't really need it that much. So we definitely want some feedback. Blackboard is ever growing with this. So in some areas, you'll be able to see where you're generating content, and it will say like where you can choose a specific content item. If you're in one of those broader areas of building. So I think I showed you guys that with the intro for the module. So they're adding that in, they're growing it. Every month they're adding updates to this particular area of the platform. So yeah, we're very excited about it. And I see that there are a few questions, so I'm going to switch over to that. Let's see. Okay. All right, we're there. Oh, okay, I think George just made a comment and tagged me in it. Okay. Are there any features coming to Blackboard in terms of AI detection? Wes, that's a great question. And the AI generator is a product of Blackboard looking into that specific task. And so in Anthology, you know, they published a white paper on it. They did a lot of research, and they basically said at no point are we going to be able to create something that can keep up with AI detection. It is always going to be not one step, not 3 steps, but like 10 steps ahead. And so instead, they're trying to use this generator to create quality content and quality prompts and assignments and assessments that are designed to dissuade the student from using it. So at this time, no, there is not a built-in AI detector coming. For the textbook question, Rama, so will the Blackboard generator reference the textbook? Can it be prompted to? So with the way this works is if you saw the description panel when I go in to create something. So in that area, if you type something in here, just some generic terms for your topic, it will pull what it can. Or and this is another place where you can select course items. If you have that content built into your Ultra shell, it can pull from that content. However, if your book, I assume that your book, it's protected behind a publisher wall and an authentication wall, so it is not going to jump through that wall for you. So just keep that in mind. So it may, depending on your topic, it may be limited with what it can pull in, you know, especially with how specific your particular course and textbook goes in. Let's see. Yes, the publishers are, oh, sorry, this is a comment that came in. Publishers are making the materials and ideally they're putting them online, but they are still protected by an authentication wall that the detector isn't going to, you know, Blackboard can't push that generator out into the LTI third party at this point. That would be really cool if they could.